Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about something rather deep. Here in Texas in the last 2 weeks, 2 attorneys have killed themselves. And those are the 2 that I know about. This video is not the video that I was going to release today, but it's too important to delay any further. I didn't know these attorneys, nor would I ever presume to speculate as to why they either committed suicide. What I do know is that they're not alone. I've been friends with the widow of an attorney who killed himself, and I have seen the wreckage that he left behind for years now for her, for their children, and for his clients. I know that there are a lot of attorneys out there who have mental health issues, and especially in certain practice areas, there are a whole lot of us who have anxiety or disorders, and depression is just the flip side of that coin. So I'm Brita, and I am here to teach about flat fees to attorneys who are wanting to learn about them. And mental health is actually related to flat fees. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true, and I'll show you how. So I, like many other attorneys that you might know, have a general anxiety disorder. And I'm saying that publicly because there's nothing to be ashamed of, period. And this profession is really tough, and it would challenge anyone's mental health. And mental health is not a subject that we openly discuss, and it's hush-hush because we think it's some sort of sign of weakness or something, or it's nobody's business, whatever your reasons are. However, this profession has a really high suicide rate, it has a high drug and alcohol rate, and we don't talk about it. And evidently, we don't feel open with each other to discuss it, and then we have suicides, and which to me is just a really big waste. I would, especially given some practice areas, what we see every day and what we do every day, it is really difficult, and it would create issues with mental health. We are not meant to work the hours that we work. We are not meant to see and hear the things that we see and hear on a regular basis. Imagine those attorneys working sex crimes. We're not meant to know about that, to hear that, much less on a daily basis. Family law, holy cow. Holy cow. How people treat each other is amazing sometimes. Even in transactional work, if you're dealing with bullies all the time, that can be really challenging to someone's mental health. I'm not a mental health professional, but I know what has worked for me to significantly reduce my anxiety to the point it really isn't an issue in my life anymore. So when you have mental health issues, especially anxiety or depression, you feel completely overwhelmed. Just completely overwhelmed to the point of being paralyzed. And it can feel like you're trying to drink out of a fire hydrant, or you have 1,001 piranhas nipping at your heels all the time. And you can't really get anything productive done because you're trying to get rid of all the piranhas. And so then you kind of shut down and you don't deal with things that you're supposed to be dealing with. And then guess what? That 1,000 piranhas turns into 3,000 piranhas, and it's just a downward spiral after that. And you can read in, whatever state's bar news at the back, disciplinary actions, and not excusing anybody's poor behavior, but you can see where you can just see these attorneys going down the drain. So how do flat fees work in here? Because they simplify things. And the simpler your life is, the more that you can deal with everything you need to deal with. So flat fees really bring the number of piranhas down so that you're not drinking out of a fire hydrant, you're drinking out of a faucet. It is not a cure-all by any stretch. It is not a treatment for mental health. I'm not saying that. But it helps a lot. Because you're just dealing with the sheer number of things that you're dealing with is reduced significantly. So you're dealing with 4 or 5 things that day, not 20. You're not spending the time and the energy and the mental capacity worrying about timesheets, worrying about descriptions, worrying about how much time you're spending on something, whether it was too much, whether it wasn't enough, whether statements are going out, who's going to pay what, dealing with the checks coming in all the time. You're not dealing with your IOLTA very much, if at all, versus on a regular basis. And that's pretty stressful, not only to me, a lot of other attorneys out there, because the more you deal with your IOLTA, the greater the chances of an error happening. And that's really stressful. You're not dealing with a lot of the issues with staff because your big chunk of billing is just gone. So they're doing other work. So that is a stressor that is reduced. Your income is stabilized and you know what you have to spend ahead of time so that you can plan properly. So every month it's not, oh my gosh, who's going to pay me and what are they going to pay me and what bills I can pay. And in my course, I also teach time management skills that completely reduced my anxiety, especially in a situation where normally my anxiety would have gone through the roof. I bought a house, an old farmhouse, and I've renovated homes before, but this was in far worse shape than the inspection reported. I mean, extension cords taped together behind walls, bad. And my anxiety without these tools would have been completely paralyzing, because when I realized quickly, holy cow, this is bad. This is really bad. I would have just normally shut down, but I got through it pretty darn easily. I mean, there were times when I just wanted to sit on the floor and cry, but I got through it and fixed the problem. And I would not have done that without a simpler life and without these time management tools and simple fees and flat fees. So even if you have any mental health issues, even if the only benefit you ever get from using flat fees is that it reduces your workload and anxiety, that is well worth it. And regardless of whether you ever try flat fees or not, or if you think you have a mental health issue, whether it's been diagnosed or not, please know that you are not alone. There are a lot of us out there, and there's no shame in addressing it. It's no different than if you had a broken arm. You wouldn't just go to work with a broken arm and not have it treated. This is no different. So get it treated with proper treatment. Take the time to do that. And the piranhas suddenly start disappearing. For those of you who don't have any mental health issues, great, that's wonderful. Please recognize that there are a lot of attorneys who do, and a little bit of kindness and patience on your part will have a big effect. You have no idea what somebody else is going through in their life. And they might be a bully, they might be ugly and just a jerk, and that's not okay. Absolutely not okay. But it's not an excuse to treat them in kind. You don't need to respond the way they did. They're probably hurting. That's why they're acting like that. It's also not going to help get the matter resolved amicably or quickly, and it just makes you feel like schmutz. So I would ask, just be kinder, gentler to each other today. I know this wasn't completely related to what you probably thought was going to be the video today on flat fees, but they really do help anxiety issues and make things far simpler. So if you found this video helpful in any way, please like it and subscribe so that other attorneys can find it easily and maybe get helped as well. Also, comment on the video. I swear the next video will be far lighter and deal with the vital research one needs to do in order to set a flat fee. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.